Hi everyone, this is Menz here. I am playing the Tier 4 Japanese light tank, the Type 5 Kiho, which this will be a little overview slash guide for this tank. At Tier 4, it's not exactly the smallest light tank you would want, especially its height. Even though it is a small tank, don't get me wrong, for Tier 4 it does feel a little bit too big, just in the height department. And especially with the armor to go along with it, you'll definitely want to avoid being shot very much since you can't really soak up any armor. And with 340 hit points, facing some tier 5 and 6 tanks, you'll just be vaporized. So this is really a tank that you want to play further back off the front lines. And the mobility on it isn't that great. Its top speed is good, but overall it's mobile, but not as fast as it could be for a tier 4 light tank, only because its engine isn't particularly strong. It doesn't have any upgraded engine either. However, as you see here, if my garage would stop freezing, the view range also isn't that great when compared to some of the opponents you're going to be facing, especially since you are thrown into a lot of tier 5 and 6 matches. 340 view range doesn't really cut it, so I equipped Coda Optics just to help out in that department a bit, and Vent and the rammer to help with the gun, since the main feature of this tank is its 2 guns. The stock gun is pretty well. I'm going to talk about the upgraded 57mm, since its average damage, if you compare it against the tanks it usually face, isn't great, but for a tier 4 tank, 75 damage per shot and 25 rate of fire is pretty good, and when you add in this awesome penetration, it makes it that much better. And if you come across a tier 5 or 6, 87mm is enough for most, but 131mm is definitely enough to deal with any tank you're going to be facing. Now, one thing you have seen here is the .42 accuracy, which isn't that great. It is a little bit low for what you would actually want it to be. It could be a little bit lower to give it a little bit more reliability. And the aim time at 2.3 isn't stellar, but it's just enough, so it's not annoying. So I'm actually gonna hop into battle here. Hopefully I get a decent matchup. Once again, if my garage stops freezing. For whatever reason, this little small patch has screwed up things just a little bit. Which just seems like tier 5 match. There's not many tier 5s, but I'm definitely going to want to avoid that KV1. He's probably licking his lips. They were definitely gonna enjoy this one. Now for this map, usually I dive right on in and attack. I'm actually gonna go into the town, but I'm not really gonna push too aggressively. I'm gonna hold back just a little bit. Even though it seems like most of them are going straight into the field, which is not very good. It's really hit or miss there. But since we will have a decent amount in the field, I'm actually gonna go against what I was originally planning, and I'm actually gonna push into the central line, only because we should be able to hold that one side pretty easily. Now I'm just gonna hold off here for a second. I don't want to get into trouble if someone's pushing down that road and they weren't spotted. Okay, so there's that KV1. I'm actually gonna see if I can't get one side shot on him. It'd be ideal if he's going to be crossing here. Definitely need to get this guy out. So any damage I can do to him right here is just awesome. I don't want to take too much damage. See if I can't get one more shot. Nope. Hopefully my teammates can finish him off, but I don't want to take any stupid damage, so I'm gonna swing back around and help out the field a little bit, because I definitely cannot deal with that KB1 from the front. It's like I could with the premium ammo, but I don't want to risk him just deciding, oh, I'm gonna shoot the little Kiho there, because he's actually doing damage to me. So I'm just gonna try to help this Stug out. See if I can't be a little bit stealthy here. But actually, good job, Stug. Sorry that I couldn't really help you, but he's gonna die before I actually can help him. So I'm actually gonna pull back just a little bit. I'm gonna sit, I don't know where this guy's going. It looks like he's coming right at me though, which isn't very good for me, because he might see me before I actually get back to the little bushes that are back here. However, I am gonna see if I can play it safe and wrap back around. I know the flag's having a little bit of trouble, but I can't get over there with that little Kiho sitting in the middle. That's one of the problems with this tank, is since you don't have a lot of armor, you really have to be careful, especially when you take a bit of damage. So, okay, there's an M2 medium all the way back here. I don't think I'm spotted yet. So, let's see if I can't kill the Artie before Artie kills me. It's definitely gonna be close. But that M2 is not playing, it seems, so I should have a little bit of wiggle room here. Still spot it, still spot it. I'm probably gonna round this corner and die, but I'm at least gonna try. And health, I'm just gonna load premium ammo. This guy's coming at me pretty quickly, so I might be able to kill him before he's able to hit me too many times. Let's see if I can't get this guy. And unfortunately he hit me. I probably could have pulled up a little bit and dodged that, but I didn't think quick enough. So that's one thing, is while you do have a really good gun on this, you have absolutely no armor, so it is kind of difficult at times to do a lot if your team kind of folds around you, because it's really hard for you to really dive on in there and do stuff without just being vaporized. But I definitely could have played that a little bit differently, and I might have had a chance to win. But overall, not a bad game. 1100 damage is definitely nothing to scoff at tier 4, especially with only tier 5. Fortunately, our KV1 driver didn't do as good as he probably could have. But anyway, on to the next battle. Let's see if we can't get a little bit different setup. Most likely, same thing, not many tier 5s. Usually with this, you'll have a lot of tier 5s running around, since most people play 5s and 6s, and less people play 3s and 4s. Okay, so this is encounter mode, so I'm gonna try to stick a little bit close to the town, only because rushing out to the field isn't exactly in my best interest, since there's not a lot of cover there. So I'm just gonna hug kind of the 5 and 6 line to begin with, and I might be able to get a few shots off into the field. If not, I'll be able to be close enough to help the town out. And once again, hopefully our KV1 is good, because you can basically take on every single tank. Only the Wolverine's gonna pose a trouble on the Growy. Maybe the M8 as well. As you see though, the accuracy at long range is a little bad. Getting lucky and hitting both of these, but overall it's not as good as you would actually want it. Now we have 4 tanks out there. I'm hoping that they can deal with him quickly, which thank God they did. Sometimes I'm not so sure though. More likely than not, there's a lot of enemies sitting right there, so I'm not going to push up yet. I'm just going to kind of stick around town. I have a nice shot on this guy. So never mind. He's down the little ditch area. But I definitely don't want to push up where I usually do, where there's 2 tanks are in E6, only because I can't actually engage them without taking a lot of damage. But let's see if I can't do some damage on this guy. Be very nice if this team out there kills that Artie back there, because one hit from Artie in this thing and you're pretty much toast. But I should be able to kill this guy. And then you just see one thing with this tank that's very nice is you're not really going to bounce all that often. And you have a very fast rate of fire, so you're capable of just chewing tanks apart. And this is going to be perfect here if my accuracy works, although that T40 just got lit up. But as you see, your mobility is good. It's not anything that is amazing, but it is slightly lower for a light tank at tier 4. And the gun depression as well, it's not as good as other Japanese tanks. I would like it to be a little higher, since you can't exactly peek over a lot of hills, as you saw there. But overall, it's not bad, it's just nothing that great. And I got kind of lucky there, but I definitely got 6 kills and a top gun, which I believe is the first in this tank for me. While it is pretty damn easy to get a top gun, more so than other tier 4 lights in this, because of the gun, at the same time it still is difficult, since a lot of times you're against tier 5s and 6s. Let's see if I can't get this guy before he decides to shoot me, which I guess had a pretty bad lag spike there, and I couldn't stop or do anything. So he lives for another few seconds. I think he's sticking out a little bit. No! Darn, I was gonna shoot the leave him if I had to reload it in time. Overall though, a pretty good game for a tier 4 tank. Less damage than the last match, but definitely a lot more kills. 928 is pretty good at tier 4. And didn't really receive much damage and didn't really spot either. But overall, decent credit maker since you are built around damage. You're not built for scouting or soaking up damage like some other tanks where you can't really rely on your gun. But overall, this tank isn't exactly a hard one to push through, especially since you start with a pretty decent stock gun. A lot of the grind's actually in the radios, and you can skip them if you want, but it's definitely a delightful tank to play. But anyway, thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and check out my website, wotguru.com.